Something that's come up in readings a lot recently is the wound of shame. Now, the reason we call it a wound is because it's causing a problem. It's painful. It's just really bruised and it needs clearing. Okay. Now, the reason that this has come up a lot is that I've been working with people that are having a variety of different problems, but it all tracks back to shame. Now, when we talk about trauma, people automatically think of like big trauma, like being in a horrible car accident or being attacked, that kind of stuff. But did you know not getting picked for the sports team or being the last one every time, that can be traumatic when you're 5. Might not be traumatic when you're 45, but at 5 it can be. Reading out loud in class and having people laugh at you when you stumble over your words. Maybe it was your parents, not intentionally. You know, I often got told I was oversensitive, and I am sensitive, but I think it's actually that everyone else has thick skin. It's not a problem that I'm sensitive. It's the fact that people don't think before they speak. So the other thing that I got told a lot when I was a kid was that I was overly imaginative. Well, I'm a psychic. What do you expect? Okay. So little things like that can traumatize a child and leave them feeling ashamed of the fact they've got told off or the fact that they're doing something that other people don't do. And that can manifest now, like call it 20 years later, 30 years later, whatever. But that shame can cause you to not pick the right partners because you don't want them to know about this shameful side of you. And it's not a conscious thing, it's coming from the subconscious. You might go for jobs where you can hide, where they can't see you because you're ashamed of being seen or being heard. Okay, maybe you had parents that thought kids should be seen and not heard, or even grandparents that thought that, and you weren't encouraged to be able to contribute to a conversation or to speak your mind or whatever it was. And so again, there's that shame in being told off and shut down by people. Okay, so why is it important? Well, it not only gets in the way when it comes to relationships, finances, being who you want to be and being able to express yourself. It also gets in the way with health issues because a lot of health issues are rooted in that original trauma of shame. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to find that health condition and follow it back to its root. And when we find that shame at the root of it, we can change the story that happened. We can't change what actually happened, but if you're ashamed of stumbling over your words in English class, we can get rid of that shame because there's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, I stumble over my words all the time. You've probably noticed already during this video. And it is just what it is. But we deal with it differently now than we would when we're much younger. Okay. And so it's important that when we've got health issues, we realize that they're rooted in the past, they're rooted in the emotional trauma, in the subconscious, and that we can get rid of them. So tell me if this resonates. Let me know if you need to work through that because it can be worked through, and I'll sort out some exercises for you to do that will clear it, or you can just come and work with me. So let me know and I'll be back with you later.